See, it's a good team.
Back to another lovely episode of Chart Talk. He's joined by a very special guest, once in a lifetime. Feels like Ben and Samani back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a guest! What a gift we got this week. How we feeling over there, Ben? Any good stories from the shore? Anything you can tell us, or are you gonna keep it all to yourself?
No, I mean it was good. We took a lot of little kids surfing, just throwing them into waves and then just not getting up, but it was all good. Little boogie board and pro over here.
There you go.
Yeah. What about you?
Same.
Yeah. All right. Should we jump into the market outlook?
Yeah. Let's jump right in.
All right, Jake.
Market outlook.
Sure.
So I mean, we're cruising right now. The market's just continuing to make new all-time highs. We closed a little red today, 1/3%. I think maybe it was a flat close. Whatever it is, the part, and then Nasdaq continues the leadership. You know, the part that really has me worried though is we're seeing less and less participation market wide. I just whipped up the FinViz heat map where it just shows, Apple, big behemoth, they're killing it. The semiconductors have been hot. Amazon gave us some love today. We see some biotechs and healthcare names, but then you look really like market wide and there's just so much red. So it's all, that pullback has to be coming soon at some point. Obviously the trend is your friend, but it's really tough for me to put on a ton of new risk up here. And something that really was eye-opening to me today, and I never talk about the VIX, but the VIX was up 15% today. The last time I talked about the VIX was March 23rd when we had those lows when the VIX was down and the market was down 3%. I was like, oh shit, like that's really weird. So today, today we had the greatest VIX day, like up day, while the market was up or down less than 1%. So just little things like that, and then that we're not seeing that like broad market participation, that gets me a little nervous that a pullback's coming. But other than that, I mean, trend is your friend. Stick to those big ass names, those fucking Facebook, Amazon, Googles. Like that's what's working right now. So why not? What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you the same way. I think the only other thing I'd like to add is the IBBs. When I pulled that chart, we do see it broke that little downtrend recently. We could see a little push back, back to the retest of all-time high. So that's the one other sector that there definitely is some action going on. So, but same thing that you said, reiterating, SPY, trend your friend. But again, everyone is getting very greedy and very euphoric up here.
I'm just seeing greed and euphoria, like all-time highs, like the retail money and things like that, like the chest pounding. Obviously, we've seen it a bunch of this run, but like right now it's just getting ridiculous. Like to think Tesla's a buy today is like, and it was up 12% today. So who'd say it's not? But like to be getting in today is nuts to me.
Yeah, I actually had a friend of mine who she knows nothing about the market. I manage her accounts. I got her covered, and she texted me last night. She's like, "What's going on with Tesla stock?" And I'm like, "Well, tell me why you can't." She's like, "Oh, I think I should get in now." And I'm like, "Oh God, like this is usually when she wants to get in something, it's usually close to the end, but we'll see."
But we're hearing that market wide. We keep hearing people talk about like their barber told them, the taxi driver, like we keep hearing the stories in Alpha Chat. The chickens will come to roost eventually.
And that's one of the things. I was at a party the other night, and this guy was telling me about he works like for a cybersecurity company. He's going to build like an algorithm, but he has a $200 trading account. But the thing that I was trying to get across him was the difference of like the percentage move. So if he wanted to buy Tesla, so it's like, okay, Tesla here at 450 or 400, even if it goes to 800, that's 100% gain. Your $400 is now 800. It's not like it's going to do that same 600% move that already happened. And those were those things that it was hard for like the newer trader to realize that it's like the percentage move, not just the dollar amount that matters, because that's how your money's going to grow. But anyways, I think we'll jump into some member ideas if you're ready for that.
I'm ready.
All right. I think first we'll start with the if you can pull up the Alpha member, the little list I put in there. I don't know if it'll let you put up, but yeah, for this month for the Alpha Award, Brandon Ford won it. So we're going to get his little gift ready and get that mailed out to everyone else who did participate in the contest. We're going to send you guys all a little gift as well, but it's obviously not going to be as cool as Brandon's. And then that contest weekend will start back up tomorrow, first thing.
That's so funny. I was wondering why Roberto was like, he's like commenting on my personal pictures from like a year and a half ago. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But now I guess it makes a lot more sense.
It was a close race, yeah, but Brandon won it fair and square. So we'll jump in with Tommy Brander's first idea, which is HZNP. He's looking to buy up through 76 versus 72.
I love this. Yeah, I mean, beautiful. Of course, we always want to see these have all the moving averages catch up so beautifully and things like that nature. But this is it's tough. It's tough because it's up so much. But I mean, it does look good.
I think
What?
Talking to him up on the side, he actually he got in through 74. That was like his first feeler. And then the next spot was at 76. So he's more likely already in versus that recent low.
No, as long as you're in against the lows, then definitely. I mean, it looks good. I just wish it would go sideways a bit more. If you look, back in March, it was $20. Now it's 76, but I guess that's freaking half the market. So, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. And then the other one was this DT. Again, he was looking to buy it through 44, so he's more likely already in versus that 42. Versus 42, yeah, versus the 2 days back prior low.
This is the earnings? Oh, that's earnings. Yeah, it's a pretty nice level. I mean, this is a pure breakout setup, so you want to see follow through right away. But if you don't get that follow through, it's usually best to get out of Dodge. It might need more consolidation. This is an okay chart to me.
Yeah, and even for that, if it is that pure breakout, instead of giving it back versus 42, it might be even one to just go low a day versus that 43 and keep it a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
Because you really do want that immediate follow through versus trying to give it some space. Let's see. Next we have David Taylor. He's looking to buy FAST fast up through 49 versus 47.
This is the whole market right now. It's so sick. I mean, it's in an uptrend. It's in a vicious uptrend. Those are the stocks that are, always perform the best. They don't really dip, so they don't even give you a chance to buy them. So, stick with the trend right here.
All right. Next, we got Alex Smith. He's looking at ADSK through 250 versus 240.
I love this. Yeah, I like this a lot. So, this wide range day, was that August 26th or whatever it was? That was earnings. And then since then, it's just traded within the range of that earnings day. Here's that earnings day, super wide. And then the last 3 days just kind of consolidated in that trend. I mean, in that day's range. And then you couple that, it's got this nice upper level bull flag. And so if it breaks the top end of this earnings day range, it's also breaking the top end of that bull flag. So all those things coinciding make me really like this setup. I like this a lot.
Nice. All right. Next, we got AME. If you zoom out a little bit, you can see like that retest, kind of third time's the charm through at 102, and it's a tight little fly versus 99.
This looks okay. It's just that it made a big run. It looks like it might be out of juice because it's running into some big resistance. Looks like it's only testing it. This is only the second time testing it. It's coming off a massive run since March. I mean, we're going to say that about many names, obviously, but I don't want to buy that first retest just yet.
Yeah. Let me see. So he has a bunch, but I'm trying to fly through and find some. All right, so we got this XP through this 50 versus low a day. So 50 versus 48.
50 versus 48. So through today's high against yesterday's low, pretty much, more or less. That's similar to a breakout. You want to see volume. Obviously, true support isn't really down to this like 43 pivot or whatever that is. So this needs more sideways to me. I mean, if you see that volume through these levels, then yeah, but I think this just needs a little bit more sideways. Like a few days would do this thing so well.
All right. And we got one more for Alex Smith. Is this a DT?
No, we just talked about DT.
Did we?
Dynatrace, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tommy, yeah. Okay, so Tommy and Alex both looking at DT. Okay. All right, next up we got Colson. He's looking at DXCM.
That's kind of,
He's looking at through that. That's a 249.
That's a really nice support buy setup. So, this is a pretty nice uptrend. We see the support level holding again. We see it giving an entry. The way these, what do you call it? The way the trend lines are not ascending, are converging towards each other. That's the word I was looking for. So if it can break above this 431 area, 430, 350, 431 area, it's an expensive name, so it's not a big area. That would be a really nice entry for this name. I like that one. Nice job, Colson.
Yeah. Even if you can zoom out like a couple of years and they can show like that $100 breakout in DXCM.
Yeah.
So this is like a good example of like people like, especially with newer traders, always like, why do you guys like expensive stocks? And this is one where, through 100 it was expensive, through 150 it was expensive, through 2, through 3, through 4, it was always expensive, but it continued to get more expensive. In the last 2 years, it's up almost 400%. Where it's very hard to find those cheaper names that make those same percentage moves, and that's why we tend to gravitate towards these expensive names, because they continue to get more expensive until they don't. But usually you can be on the better part of it for as long as you can kind of hold on to them for. That was a little bit of a recent lesson that it's been hitting home a lot. Next for Colson, we got this PH through 210.
That's a little. That's similar to that. What was that name we were just talking about? When I said it kind of ran up there, kind of only retesting the level once. We see with today's action, it's kind of weak. I wouldn't buy this one through this level. It just kind of like looks like it's running out of juice. Made this huge run from 180 to this big resistance level. I don't want to buy it through that resistance level just yet. Want to see some more consolidation.
Yeah, so I believe it was AME that we were talking about, and Colson and Alex are both actually looking at AME through that 102.
Yeah.
Let's see, next he's looking at this Morgan Stanley through 53. Ooh.
Getting hot in here. This looks okay. And the banks just haven't gotten any love at all. It's so hard to say I want to buy a bank right now. I mean, the setup, I guess, is there. This is a decent little earnings flag. It made these highs on earnings, so in that regard, it makes sense. I'm just super not excited about any bank.
Yeah. Let's see. What else is looking at? It's IDXX through.
Oh, looks pretty good.
So he was looking through 390. He sent it earlier this morning, so he more than likely he's probably already in verse 380.
Yeah, I was looking at this one yesterday. I mean, this is another one, hyper uptrend, not really giving you a chance to pull back. Had a big move on earnings day. Has really only consolidated that move for the past like 3 or 4 weeks. So, I mean, this one rounding up, you gotta have your stop below this base right here, support. But I mean, this one looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jake. So we're going to jump into some of the social media questions. If you want us, we'll start with this statement from 707 Casey, and he says, not a question. He says Tesla will hit 1,000 by the end of the year. So you just want to maybe show a daily chart of where he's making this bold bet.
Is it a bold bet? Does he have stock? Is he buying 500? Like, what makes it a bold bet? Sure. I mean, it could, honestly, it fucking could the way the price action's going. But, it's just, this is unsustainable price action. It's not like me being like a Tesla hater. I don't give a fuck. It's up another $11 post market right now. It's just that anytime we see a stock go vertical, it has to retrace that move. It has to consolidate. These are just price action statements. These aren't anything about the company. So I don't give a fuck. Sure, it goes to 1,000.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
This is almost kind of the vibe of like a few years ago when Bitcoin was getting near 19, and it was just like so vertical. It was just so straight up, and everyone thought it was going to go to 30 or 40, and then
100, 200, 300,
and then quickly gets cut in half, and
then we got like 100 new members of people who lost all their money in Bitcoin.
Yeah. All right. So as we mentioned, for Casey, not really an impressive claim here because again, from 500 to 1,000 is 100% gain. Stocks are up 600% this year. It's really not that big of a difference at this point.
If Tesla doubled 2,000, that'd be a big deal. I'll say that. Their market cap is fucking like $460 billion right now. It'd be close to $1 trillion at that point. So that'd be a big. That'd be big.
Yeah.
That'd be big.
And let's see. Okay, so next we have Tommy Werner. He's in NCNO from 77.
I like this name. He's in from 77.
He's in here. Average cost 77. So great stock. But he's looking to buy basically right now. He wanted to buy 92, 91. He wanted to add up to it with a target of 99.
It's always tough. Obviously, the easy answer is no. You have good stock from 77, so why waste your cost basis? But maybe he has such a small amount of shares that it's not worthwhile to him. I understand this problem. I get it. And he's looking to buy through the IPO high. 91.88 was IPO highs. He's looking to buy 92. The only thing I would recommend if he does elect to do that, have a tight stop. You want to see this break out and really break and keep that second trade as a separate trade versus this 77. Let this 77 work. Treat that one properly with more proper stops at pivots. And then if you're trying to add some for the breakout, treat it as a breakout add and have a tight stop. If you're looking to buy 92 and sell at 99, in this name that we've seen it go, on IPO day, it was at 71 and 92 to 92. So, it seems like a very small target, to buy 92 right here. He's up $15, but he wants to buy 92 to make $7. That doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. Take what you want from that.
Yeah, I agree. I think even with the same, just for how crazy it trades, it's kind of hard to buy that, second day huge strength versus trying to buy it like what we've been focusing on buying, back on a pull-up. The IPO is a little bit difficult, but yes, he's going to raise that cost basis with a kind of arbitrary entry and an arbitrary target. Might be better off just doing nothing and sticking with what he's got. Let's see, next we got Shant. I'm going to just call him Shant. He says, you see a breakout in AVGO.
Welcome, huh? I mean, all the semiconductor stocks have been pretty sick. Oh, I got some whack trend lines. It's already kind of breaking out.
Yeah.
How long ago did he said this today?
Yeah, he said it today.
So he's looking to enter. I don't like buying it here. It looks like the stock continues higher from here, but I wouldn't enter at this point. Your last kind of opportunity seemed like this 335 area. But I mean, it looks like it continues higher. All these semiconductor stocks look like they continue higher until they don't.
Yeah, and that's one thing. There was one other question where it was like, I don't know the person's name. They asked, "Are we trading with tighter stops? Are we looking to kick more quickly? Kind of that relative to he put in quotes versus a normal market." So for this example, I think it's kind of hard to just randomly buy here, where you got to at least give it versus 320. So I think for us, at least for me, it's been just upping stops and letting the stocks kind of grind higher, and not looking to be overly, not trying to get rid of the stock too quickly, because we've had names that just keep grinding higher every single day. So it's just been really protecting the downside, where when the turn happens, it'll just kind of get us out. I don't know if you agree with that shake or not.
Completely. Yeah, I found myself just kind of holding more. I'm not nearly as active. Granted, I wanted to be less active anyway on these last 2 weeks, but just kind of with this market action, it seems like it's tough to execute new longs every single day, because you should just be sticking with your longs. You should be holding the best names. So I've been doing a ton, just kind of holding my guys.
All right. So last social media question, Marks_Alexander. He asks, does Amazon have room to run? It's been running for a long time.
It's so funny. So I was in a separate text thread today, and someone was like, "Finally, we're seeing some follow through on Amazon." And the guy was like, "Fam, this is year 7 of Amazon. it's the market leader. Yeah, it's gonna. I think it'll continue to run. I don't know if tomorrow is the day to buy or whatnot. I think, but this is if the market wants to continue higher, it's gonna need Amazon to continue higher. Like, these are the stocks that are just completely leading the market right now. The Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, Apple, Google, the same names we talk about, even the Tesla. For the market to keep going higher, we need those names to just keep going higher. So anything can fucking happen. I mean, look at the move we're seeing out of Tesla. So, it can definitely continue higher. Market leader. It seems like people are just continue to dump money into those stocks right now. So, why not? Until we see something change. We're in this.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, so next we can jump into some of the good trade and bad trade for the week. If you want to pull up Heaven's chart in this CRWD. So your Heaven's first entry, little feeler up through 96, little support buyback. We can see here, that area that held up basically, all summer. He added up through highs, up through 100. He kicked some, about a fifth of his position, through 110 to pay for the trade. He got tailed out of some versus 113, and he still has the remainder of his stock for this breakout. So I think
that's sick. They have earnings in a couple days. You should probably honestly hold it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's already booked some. He's got enough cushion in the name where, worst case, if they get destroyed, like back near 100 or lower, maybe he's break even. If they do gap up higher, then he's can forget about the name for a couple of months and just let it keep working. He's got a great trade on his hands. Let's see, next we got Brian Trung in this EW.
All right, yeah, so he's just sitting there. And I remember him, Brian Trunk's much more of a macro trader. So he, just a nice entry so far in this EW. He kind of bought this flag right here, this earnings flag. He's just sitting. So he shouldn't be doing much right now. Great job. Good stuff. So he up the stuff to break even. So bought 80, stopped 79, 89. And the one question he had was, should he keep his full position break even there,
or can he kind of break up, that stop, maybe have some burst, lower day, fire lower day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say like I could never trade like that because it's just like I would love to kick some, and then if it comes back down to 80, see if it's a positive retest, and like buy some more and like keep trading it. But that's, I'm a trader. So yeah, I mean, that's what I do with all my positions. But I know he's much more macro, much more of just a pure swing trader. But I wouldn't mind having some, at a lower day, just a tight trail to book some, and then yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm with you too. If I was like, me and Brian kind of trade very similar. Like we try to have kind of one entry, one exit.
Yeah.
And with that, it's like I'd have a little bit first lower day, maybe a little bit first prior lower day, and then again giving the rest back to that break even. And if it does come back, you can, even if you get pushed out, you can still get back in. But I think we're kind of on the same premise with that trade. Next, we got Roberto and his team.
That was sick.
Yeah, he did very well with this one. This was another little support buyback. Bought up through 167. He was giving it first, the proper out of the support area, that 160 area. You can see those red lines. That's where he's upping his stop. So when he first got in, that first green circle, he was originally giving it first at 160. As the trade started to break out and work into his favor, he was able to limit his risk and bring that stop up. And again, as the stock continued higher, he was able to continue to up that stop, as well as kicking some into strength. So I think he did phenomenal. I think that relative range the team has been in, that 160 to 200, he bought near the lower end of that range, first 160, and kicked into the middle and upper end of that range. And I believe he still has some left. So I think that's a phenomenal trade, and especially when in a range-bound market, which we aren't in. We're in the breakout market, but when we are in a range-bound market, and you find charts like this, you just keep playing that range until it breaks out. And it's a great way to kind of have some cash flow trades when the markets.
They don't break like this in a range-bound market.
No, yeah, I know. This is one of steroids. Okay, so next we got Colson in this now trade in OW.
All right, I'll take this one. So it looks like he bought the support down here. That was pretty nice. Then he kicked and then bought higher the next day. I hate that. I hate that so much. I don't mind the kick, but to look to buy higher the next day is just pure greed to me. So maybe if you waited for a pullback, or like, how it kind of consolidates these 4 days, if you added on the day where you saw volume and strength, that would be a good move. But to add the next day at a higher price, that is something you really want to eliminate from your trading. But then other than that, he upped his stop. He waited for new little mini supports to form. Once they gapped up, was that an earnings move? Sure. I forget what this move was, but he's just upping his stop and he's selling it. And other than that, the faux pas where he added too high or added the next day after he sold, I think this is a great trade.
Yeah. The only thing like that, we talk about that initial buy that next day. Had he done it that 4 days later, when it finally broke and he was selling that day, that would be more like, it would make more sense in my opinion.
No, that was just a greedy buy. You can tell it was a greedy buy. Oh fuck! Yeah. I sold too much yesterday because I was scared of losing the P&L. Now it's going higher, so I'm gonna just buy this resistance level. And he didn't get stopped out of that stock, but that could have fucked up his whole trade had it not worked out so well.
You got very lucky. And even with it seems like, and even that like second to last one, it looks like he just kicked it immediately off the open, and that's something where it doesn't seem like that was even necessary. Like the stock was gapping up, in that trade he was right. It seems like those are the times to give it some time versus just immediately booking some, and then he sells more the next day. So it just seems like he might be doing a little bit too much. Less might be more with some of these executions, because again, in an uptrending market, when everything's very easy, you get bailed out a lot. But in a choppier market, or when things get a little bit harder, these re-ads and kind of greedy kicks are not going to work. So just hopefully some habits we can try to work out of.
The only thing I will add though is like, so you're knocking his sell on the gap up day. When things gap up, I'm usually taking things off the open. How many times have we seen these gaps fill, and that whole trade gets washed? So I think it's easier said seeing the green bar to say you shouldn't sell here. I don't think that's too bad. All right, where we at? WSM. I was in this one. Let's go. I got the same trade on my hands. Pretty much. A little bit. Who's this one? Oh, Colson again. All right, so this was trade of the week, I believe. This 89, really nice earnings flag. It kept us in it, gave us a nice little pivot against that 84. It's kicking on the way up. It's kicking on the way up. Just kick. That's an okay kick. Oh, the only thing that sucks here is, all right, so he bought 89 here. and he kicked 93, 94, and 92, but it went all the way to 102. But he never captured any of that 102. So, I see he had 3 stops, it looks like, or 3. He treated it in thirds, it looks like. Sell one into strength, try to pick a top with another, and then get stopped out of the third. That's generally the formula we see here. So, first one's fine. The third one's fine. The second one, picking a top, or if you will, you just want to have some kicks off in this 100 area. I don't know how you work on that, or I don't know about this trade specifically. It's always easier said than done looking at these things afterwards. I know that for certain. But you got to get some off higher in by these hundreds.
Yeah. I think even for this Williams Sonoma, I think we'll get a nice little sneaky buyback through this 89. We give it a little more time, let it pull in.
I'm with you.
Definitely get back into this one again. Yeah. All right. So we wrapped the member ideas. Shake, if you want to go into yours, and I'll go into mine after.
Some ideas?
Yeah. No. For good trade. Good trade. Bad trade.
I'm still I haven't really executed. I'm just still holding light Facebook, holding light Amazon. I'm holding light Google. I missed the ad in Netflix today. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just gravitating towards the strongest names that are just holding the market up right now. My one fuck up is missing this Pinterest because I took a loss on the breakout day and then I didn't buy it back. I wasn't really executing much, but that one looks amazing right now. Haven't called it out. I believe he said pound the table on 34. So great job by him in it. Nice. So I don't really have much to add for the good trade, bad trade.
All right, we'll go into the few that I have. We got the first one. We got this MDC. So this was one that we were keeping an eye on for that macro breakout through that 47 half area. Now, again, we've been reiterating that we've been trying to buy up off the support, trying to avoid buying those perfect resistance levels. So this is one where I got in. We got in through 44 on tight risk. We got that push up. Just wasn't ready yet. I ended up getting stopped out break even, and it just still, again, wasn't ready. You just need some time. So it's break even trade. Next, we have this Triple M. This was, again, similar trade like for Brian Trung, where kind of one entry, 1 or 2 exits. So for this one, and we talked about a few weeks ago where I took some off into the prior resistance area, and I still kept some. I had some verse break even of 152, but as we see it start to flag and we see it respecting 160, now there's really no reason, in my opinion, to give this back to break even, where if it does break 160, it's more than likely to come back to that price anyway. So I've given it 2 weeks to kind of flag up here. If it does want to continue higher through 168, I still have a portion to hold for that bigger move. And if it's not ready and it wants to break back down, I'll still lock some in kind of close to where I sold before. And it'll just be kind of an easy little swing that I didn't have to do much with. Next, shaking on the pulse at IIVI.
Sure do.
All right, so again, this is...
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
Oh, I didn't know you were in this. Nice.
Yeah. So this was one we kind of see the support area. We see this 42. What I liked a lot about this was kind of the ASB in the last week. It flushed to that 92 or that 42. I'm sorry, and came right back, and it still held the next day and the following. So that kind of showed me that some people got shooken out, but it's still respecting that area. So I got in the day after it kind of ticked down through 42, bought up through 44 with a stop versus 42, and it's still kind of in its lower end of this range. So for now, my stop is still versus 42, but once it can kind of push up this 46, maybe get to 48, that's when I'll look to up it to break even. And then that the first area I'll be looking to sell it into would be around 52, and then the rest I'd like to hold a little bit longer. So that's a trade that's in motion. And then lastly has been this Visa, which...
Oh, yeah, I'm sitting in this one, too.
Yeah, I think we've all been in this one. A lot of guys in Alpha Chat, very easy swing. We bought 200. This was a very easy swing, basically just grinding higher every day. My stop right now is versus 210. I'll probably get stopped out tomorrow, just given how it closed today. So again, like for someone like Brian Trung, he might have a stop for some versus 210, and then maybe a third versus 200. So I have a majority of my stop versus 210, and I'm willing to give some back to break even. But those have been the last few trades that I've been managing while on a little bit of vacation.
Nice.
So, Shake, you want to jump into the top of these of the week?
Surely. There's just a bunch of charts out there. I was calling out this MTCH at the end of the day, match group. Nice little retest. Previous resistance turned support right here. Nice little tight inside day. They have earnings? Oh, they didn't have earnings? Oh, that's a bit.
Earnings.
They call my part. The CERN is the best chart out there to me right now.
I'm with you on that.
That's
Even
we're talking about the monthly chart is amazing. We talk about. Sorry, I got a bunch of notes on here. So you'd see this monthly bull flag dating back 2014. Go to the weekly chart, insane bull flag. Then you go to the daily chart, insane bull flag. So that's complete time frame continuity. I'll definitely be in that one. This FTNT looks like it's ready to pivot higher. We saw some sick buying at the end of the day in this one. So that's definitely on my radar tomorrow. We saw a biotech strong today. This Regeneron looks like it continues higher from here. This 620 area, 6-ish, yesterday's high. And then Okta, OKTA. So this day yesterday, that was earnings. And then they had an inside day today. And these software names have just been killing it this year. They've just been ripping higher, all of them, literally the entire sector. So we love buying stocks through their earnings day high, 217.50 for that Okta. Anything else? No, that's it for now. What you looking at?
The two main ones I also had the CERN through that 74.
Yeah.
Again, went through that. And then the other one is this IQV, that 165, the macro level. The only hard part is, again, this is, fifth day up. So if this goes tomorrow, I more than likely will not be in it, but this is one to kind of keep on the radar. If it does kind of stall out here and can tighten up, this would be one that I look to take through that all-time high, cool. Especially when you have BHG of the healthcare sector taking new all-time highs today. So it's, healthcare is moving up, bios are breaking out. This IQV could be ready as well.
Nice. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So with that, you want to jump into
Book of the week. All right, let's do it. If you're looking at fan book.
I got Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. It was a little hard getting into it initially, the first 50 or 100 pages. Just, I wasn't too into it, but started to get, a little bit better as some of the rules a little bit deeper. The one that really stuck out for me, and I think relates to most people, is treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. So an example he gives, and one that's relative to you or I, is if our dog was to get injured, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take it to the vet, we're going to get that expensive, medication, we're going to make sure the dog takes it until he's fully recuperated. Where if you're playing basketball and you roll your ankle, you're going to go get the ace bandage from CVS, you're going to limp around for 2 weeks, you're not going to go see a doctor to get it properly treated. Yeah. So that's kind of like that lesson that I think most people, do as well. I think that one really hit home, where it's, got to treat yourself like you would treat, somebody you take care of. So.
Good. That's good. I like that. I know a lot of people who have that problem.
Yeah. What about you? What are you reading?
No, I've been hearing a lot of BS lately. It's my head wanting to explode with this market. We're in a great market right now. I want everyone to enjoy it, but we got to take it back to the principles. Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. This is like the first trading book I ever read. Our first boss was like, if you don't have this book done in the next 2 weeks, like, don't even come back to the desk. But I mean, for a reason. It's a timeless classic. It's got great principles. I think it'd be a great read for new traders right now. I heard someone say Tesla is now a long-term hold, as it's up 600% in fucking 5 months. So stick to the fundamentals. Understand this type of market isn't something we're gonna experience every single month. Enjoy it while we got it, but again, you're not gonna have this every month. S&P best month since 1984. Not bad.
Yeah, it's a good month to have. Even for us, for like the social media questions, some were just statements. Some were just like, Tesla's going to 1,000 by the end of the year, and it's like, it's up 600% from here to 100%. That's really not even that big of a claim. But like you're saying it now, you weren't saying this 6 months ago. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Good stuff today.
All right.